Hey everybody, welcome to this video at Pro Se Legal School. We provide the tools you need to stop the court process and have some fun while you're getting it done. We want to be serious about this video. So we're serious about every video. So we just thought we'd come from the classroom. Okay, so if you made a mistake along the way, these are the steps that you have to follow to get things back where you need to have them. And I'm going to copy these and paste them in the description so you can copy and paste them yourself. Now, one of the things you guys need to make sure you're doing, you need to make sure that you're copy and pasting when you open that file, when you open that zip file, you open a file to personalize it. You need to copy and paste it into your own Word before you make changes and save the original clean. Otherwise, when I switch around from one drive to whatever, if the other one drive gets mad, they shut down, then you won't have access to your stuff. So, and other people can see your stuff if it's in there like that and the thing is unshared, which it keeps going back to. So guys, make sure you do that. Now, okay, so I've been chewing on this for a couple of days, trying to figure out how to put this presentation together. You know, if you filed a lawsuit and somewhere along the line you end up where they're stalling and just ignoring your stuff, or they're still going after you even though that you've done everything, or you think that you did, or whatever. Just work with me here. Okay, this is not about giving nobody a hard time. It's about keeping it real so we can learn. Okay, it's about keeping it real so we can learn. So first off in this video, how to get back on track, I figured we just need to go over some of the mistakes. Well, all of them. So if you made one of these mistakes, or all of them, don't beat yourself up, because this is the goal, the value in the real-time feedback. Okay, so I'm going to go through the mistakes, and then we're going to talk about the issues that you need to address, and then we're going to talk about getting control, kind of, and how we address those issues. So I'm figuring if we look at it that way, then we should be able to keep up and everybody be at the same place, or end up at the same place at some point in time very shortly. And we're not all over the place. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while so that I can make sure that when we lay this out, that we have the best, that we have the best plan. So let's just get started. Well, before we get started, click on the bell and ring some shit, whatever. So YouTube know I'm bringing value to the table, because they've been screwing me over. So, okay, so the mistakes, I guess, is where we're going to start out first. So the mistakes that people made that got them off track. The first one that I'm going to go with was adding a lender. If you add a lender or a servicer or any of those people, then they're going to assume that you believe the bullshit that they stuck in your face that you're trying to get out of. No, we don't add the lender. Now, if you're in a non-judicial and and it just started and you have time to screw with these people, then you could, but maybe, it actually depends on how well you understand. So I just go with, for novice people that have been doing this for a minute, then you could in non-judicial to make the lender sweat. But in judicial, they're already done the charge off and done the corporate charge off and check done, and then they bundled that shit. Well, they did that before they did it. Well, I'm not sure which one they did first. The chicken or the egg. Okay, so when you add the lender, it just complicates things, because then it makes it look like you don't know shit, or that you know shit that they don't want you to know, which means you don't know shit. Okay, sorry. Another mistake that people made is they didn't add the state. State is the one that's trying to steal your property. The state is the one that's the plaintiff trying to send your ass to jail and don't have jurisdiction because statutes and codes are not valid. You didn't add the state, and some people didn't add the state judge. The goal is to stop the state court process, not play around with these people. So you add it, and some people didn't add the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the one that come up with the local rules that they're going to use to throw your ass under the bus. And some people added a whole bunch of defendants because they're emotionally wrapped up or whatever, and that those emotions need to be checked at the curb. I'm the only one that get to do that. Because they're distracting and you miss what you need to be getting done. Now, one of the big things is that the state court players, they didn't get crushed. They should have been crushed. They didn't get crushed. And some of them moved it. Some of the state players that should have been getting crushed moved the case over to federal court. Why would you do that? Because we use federal court case law that crushes their ass because they can't respond to with statutes and code bullshit. So they moved it over to federal court where they can respond. Well, they still can't respond because they don't have a bar license. They don't have a bar card. They don't have a federal bar card. So they still can't respond to the stuff if you know your shit and you've done your homework. They still can't respond. And if they do, you have to let them know why they can't. Copy and paste that shit out of the things showing that and jam their ass up. Then trump their ass. You can't trump them until you shut their ass down. And that's what we're doing here. We're shutting their ass down, and then we're trumping them over in federal court or the other way around. Anthony's in federal custody. So we're not sure. I think I'm just going to play right around in federal court until these people let him go, because I have more shit up my sleeve. And we're going to talk about that later tonight in the live stream. Oh, and one of the things that people don't do is they didn't file the counterclaim. Now, if you have time, you're not facing the eviction process. If they're not about to push your ass off the cliff, because the counterclaim, you filing it in their shit, so they still have kind of control over that, sort of, if you just filed and went sat down. But if you're in judicial or you got time, filing that $200 million counterclaim, the counterclaim is the same lawsuit. You just change the word on the front to counter. You take off claim and put counterclaim on there. Maybe change it a couple of different places to reflect it's a counterclaim, and you also have to put yourself as a defendant in the counterclaim. Now, in the premium packages, I have in the premium package for the prosecutor eliminator, we have that worked out already. So you'll get two documents. One will be the counterclaim where the defendant, where the person that's suing their asses is still the defendant, and then you'll have the regular that you'll be filing when we get around to it for the person that's suing their ass is the plaintiff. Some people drag their feet and didn't get the stuff done in time because of grammar issues. And, I put everything through the software when I structure it, but you need to understand, one attorney complained that my stuff was copy and pasted. That copy and pasted shit kicked his ass. Okay, but so here's the thing. Okay, these people ain't gonna be up in here arguing, Your Honor. There should be a comma right here. So we'd like to just move to dismiss this and throw it out right now. Wait. There's a word misspelled. It's asshole. Oh yeah, no, dude. It's more important to understand the words, the facts, the shit that's in it than to worry about grammar. It is. And here's the thing. When you start worrying about grammar, you start worrying about all this stuff to kiss their ass, you move your ass right over in their conventional shit. Yeah, I don't care. I want to dismiss the shit for something real quick so I can get right over to suing the judge. I know they ain't going to provide the factual findings and the conclusions of law. So, yeah, I'm excited about them throwing this shit out so we can just get on right over to the next order of business. Okay, so those are the mistakes. The issues that we have to address, and I thought it would be easier to do it this way. The issues that we have to address is that the state court didn't get crushed at the gate, and then the players moved it over to federal court, but they still should get crushed because they don't have a federal license to be answering to anything in federal court. As a matter of fact, we demand the federal court judge order their answer to the settlement table, because if they couldn't respond to anything on the state court level, because they can't, we use federal case law in their, then they have no standing to say shit in federal court. Oh, I know. The judge ain't going for that. I don't give a crap. Okay, let him or her, let the judge deny that shit. I damn sure hope they provide the factual findings and the conclusions of law, which I know the answers ain't going to provide. So now we're suing that judge for helping them. Now, in Heather's case, the magistrate judge took over and started making decisions. The magistrate judge does not have judicial authority to be in anybody's shit without the signed consent from all parties. And that happened also in Anthony's case, and we can go after him later for that. They let his ass out. So you didn't stop the state court process. If you stop the state court process, then you'll have a little more respect over here. Now, I'm not saying federal court's going to lay out the carpet and kiss your ass, because they're going to try and kick your ass just like they were doing over there. Now, we already lined it out right here. Okay, so, the issues, we didn't crush the state court players on the state level, and then we allowed them to move over to federal and answer. And I can guarantee you there ain't no federal attorney going to take on none of this shit, because they need to move fast, because they got a 95, my girlfriend said 95% income. They need to move fast, and they ain't going to do that with our shit in their face. Okay, so, and then there's addressing the federal magistrate judge's lack of jurisdiction and interference, interference with the administration of justice. The magistrate judge obstructed the administration of justice. Yeah, that's how my coach Denny said that we're supposed to say that shit. And the federal judge ruled without finding the facts and conclusions of law. So those are the issues. So, getting control. Okay, the first step is supplemental pleadings. That's how we get back in court to clean up stuff or to make shit more powerful. Maybe that's what we're going to call it. Because we really ain't cleaning it out. We about to, okay. So a supplemental pleading, you can go to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure for filing an amendment and scroll all the way down to the bottom, down, by a little tiny ass number, you'll see supplemental pleading. You can file a supplemental pleading. It doesn't say you have to, can't. Well, the shit is broad, the real shit. Mm-hmm. You can file a supplemental pleading as long as you add a body or a count or both, and they have to be connected to the original reason why you're there. So you just put supplemental pleading and then make the changes that you want to make. The supplemental pleading should be to object to the state court moving, and when you clean it up and put the right players on there, you put the state and the judge, and you put the right players on there and you clean it up. Okay, you're going to file a supplemental pleading, and you're going to object to them even answering on the state level, let alone moving it. And when you do that supplemental pleading on a state level to crush that state shit, you want to make sure you add the magistrate judge or whatever judge made a ruling in the case or was signed on to it. I don't give a shit if they made a ruling or what. If they're signed on to that shit, bam. Or if they're not signed on to it, the chief judge. Y'all ass need to open up the thinking here, because we don't have no limitations. Sign the judge ass up on the state shit. Okay, because remember, you got to crush that shit first. And by adding the federal judge to the state shit down there, you're going to have to serve the federal judge, or what I would do. And that's going to be a bam to the shit that they're pulling on the federal. Okay, now when you get all that under control, okay, then you can do your supplemental pleading in the federal case that they're screwing you over. Well, wait a minute. In two of the cases, it was their case from state court they moved, and the people thought their case got moved too. And it probably did because it was connected to it. But when you get the federal court over here, they're not looking at your shit. They don't give a damn about your stuff. So, So when you add the federal judge to the state's supplemental pleading to clean up and crush that, that's also going to put a serious blow in the shit that's going on over here. So when you get back over here and you file your stuff in federal court, you'll be adding that judge to your supplemental pleading to address the fact that, if you did file something in federal court and they're ignoring it and trying to connect it together. Okay, the whole goal is to force these people to visualize a shared liability. And you do that by bringing the fire to the table. So by jamming up the federal judge on the state level, it'll be punch them in the face of what they were doing over there. So when you finally get back over here, maybe they'll have a little more respect for you. And now you can add the federal judge to the shit on the federal level too, because his or her ass ain't going to be able to respond just like them other ones. They ain't nobody be able to respond to nothing. And then you want to make sure you serve the magistrate. When you guys get in the program, what you already knew about the legal should be tossed out to the curb. It should be tossed out to the curb. Okay, you guys leave me a comment on what you think about this video. I got to go. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. We got another live stream going down tonight.